Yeah, I'm waiting for your. Guys, you tell me your problem at least.
Is it 3 pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4?
Say it again.
3 pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4?
How do you get it?
I added pi over 2 plus pi over 4 and 3 pi over 2.
Pi over 2 plus pi over 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 4.
Very good. So if you have a situation like that, what I told you, I asked you to consider the plus value and take this value over here. Right. So let's see what she did. So that value would be 45. Pi divided by 4. So that means this length is pi divided by 4. Right. So that length is corresponding to the length, this length here, you see? This length is pi divided by 4. Can you see? Look at the symmetry of the graph. So that means this distance is pi divided by 4. So now from there you can find x1, which is pi minus pi divided by 4. So this position is pi. That would be 3 pi divided by 4. x2 would be the positive side. It's going to be pi plus pi divided by 4. So that's going to be 5 pi divided by 4. Very good. So the trick would be this. So you find this guy from the positive one. Otherwise, if you get a negative one, I mean, how do you do that? Yeah. I think that is okay. Okay. Shall? Okay, do that. Everyone should attempt this. Pi minus x, okay? Tan pi minus x. Okay, so answer. Guys, what is the answer? If you are stuck, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't know, right?
Negative
First thing I
0.6.
do. Say it again.
Negative 0.6.
Negative 506. Just one answer?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so first of all, I do this tan 5 minus x. We'll do it slowly. 1 divided by square root 3. No worries. Okay, then
Leave the root 3 all the way with the 1.
Huh?
You times 1 and root 3.
I cross multiply.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, I put this one here. Then quadrant formulation tan. So second quadrant, this here, tan is minus, right? So it will be minus tan x. Quadrant formulation. Then uh, then you can write tan x is equal to minus 1 divided by square root 3. Your domain. Okay. Then you have to draw this tan graph, right? So tan is a painful graph, but you have to live with the pain. So minus pi divided by 2 is here. Zero here. So now you need minus 1 divided by square root 3. So that means somewhere here, right? 1 divided by square root 3, but minus. You are doing this. So Terry is right. There is only one answer. Okay. So now this is x-axis, x1. So you need to find x1 now. Now how to find x1? You understand x1 is similar to this over here, right? X is similar to this over here. This. So that value is 30, right? Pi divided by 6. Right? Why? Because from the table, from the table, tan pi divided by 6 is equal to 1 divided by square root 3. So that is a fact. So this distance is equal to this distance. So we conclude that so x1 is minus pi divided by 6. You can see that in the minus sign. Okay, that's the answer. Okay. Any questions?
No.
No. This one. If sine squared pi minus x is equal to 1 divided by 2, where x is from 0 to pi. No. 0 to 2 pi. Find x. Find the solutions. Very smartly constructed question. Let's go for it. So let me know when you're done. So I want you to try this. Please try this. So if your problem is here, then you have to know that sine pi divided by x, whole thing squared, can be written as sine squared pi minus x.
Wait, is the first one pi over 6?
Say it again.
Pi over 6? I don't know if I did it right.
So how many answers you are expecting?
2.
Okay. Yeah, pi over 6 seems to be one of the answers. But this question is trickily done. Make sure you have two answers or one answer or more than that.
So I'm stuck on the second solution.
Okay. So did you draw the figure before you do that?
Uh,
You have to draw the figure, sine, cosine, whatever that. You have to draw first, right? So then only you can visualize it. Like here, I drew this one, right? So then only I can visualize what is x1, what is x2, and how to find x1, x2. You can visualize it if you draw it only. Even I'm doing it. I can give the answer in my mind, that's fine. But still, when it comes to the exam, I don't want to get a risk. I do it. ශානික මම රසිත කතා කරන්නේ. ඔව් මම අනිත් ෆෝන් එකේ මම මේ Zoom class එක දෙක තියෙනවා. මම ඒකෙන් මේ ගන්න බෑ මට. නෑ ඒක කතා කරේ. හරි. ඔව්. හරි. videos. ඔව් ඔව්. ආ. ඔව්. එයා මොකද වයස? වසර? ඔව්. Oh. වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ ඉතලා මේක වගේ නම් මට කරන්න එක පාඩුයිනේ. ඉතින් ඒක හින්දා එහෙම නැතුව කරන්න පුළුවන්කමක් බැලුවොත් ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි යන ක්ලාස් එක තමයි ජොයින් කරගන්න ක්‍රමයක් බැලුවොත් තමයි ඉතින් අමාරුයි. මොකද මම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට VCE වලට ફોકસ කරනවා වැඩි. එතකොට මම මේ ફોકસ කරනවා කියන්නේ මම වැඩිපුර කරන්නේ කියන්නේ එතකොට මම ඔය පොඩි ක්ලාස් වාර ගන්න එක ඒ කියන්නේ ඊට වඩා අර ළමයෙකුට දෙයක් කරන්න තියෙන එක මට වැඩිනේ. මේ ඉතින් ඒක හින්දා එහෙම නැතුව ඉතින් මේ යන්න ඕන නම් අපිට ඇත්තටම පුළුවන් අර ක්ලාස් එක ඔන්ලයින් කරන්න. ඔන්ලයින් කරනවා කියන්නේ ලයිව් දාන්න මට පුළුවන්. ඔව්. ඒක ලයිව් දාලා එතකොට එයත් එහෙන් කරන්න ඉතින් ඒක ටිකක් කතන්දරයක් තමයි. නමුත් ඉතින් ඒක තමයි තියෙන එකම ඔප්ෂන් එකේ. කවන්නේ. මට වාට කතා කරන්න තෝරන කරලා තිබ්බා. මම ඉන්සරේ ගන්නම් මේ ක්ලාස් එකකින් පස්සේ හෙට වගේ හෙට හරි අනිද්දා හරි දවල් වරකට වගේ. හරි. හරි. Okay, done. Terry boy, done?
Yeah.
How many answers?
2 answers.
No. Not 2. If you are getting 2 answers, I would say partially correct.
Is there 4?
Exactly. There are 4 answers. Who is this?
Inaya.
There are 4 answers. Okay, I gave you the clue now. Now find 4 answers. And first of all, you have to think why 4 answers, right? Then how to find 4 answers. Then you can go from there. This is a very good question, guys. Huh? Because exam people are tricky. Yeah. Some people are tricky. You might have seen even in your school exams, even your grade 10, 9 exams, also tricky. You can't easily score 100. So 4 answers. Okay, Terry, there are 4 answers. Now think why and how to do those 4 answers. It's a very easy thing. Very easy. You will kill yourself if I tell you that. That kind of easy. Yangi?
I'm not sure.
Think, can you think, please? Oh. Okay, I'll give you the initial step here. Do that. And then one thing you forgot. You do this, you take the square rooting and you forgot plus and minus. That plus and minus gives you 4 answers. I told you, you will kill yourself. Sin pi minus x is equal to 1 divided by square root 2 sin pi minus x minus 1 divided by square root 2. Okay. So now quadrant formulation is applied. Sin pi minus x is sin x, which is 1 divided by square root 2 with your domain. What is the domain? I gave you 0. Here again, sin x minus 1 divided by square root 2. So for this one, okay, so plus 1 divided by square root 2, so that would be like this. So there are two answers here. I would say x1, x2. And when you get minus 1 divided by square root 2 is here. This one. So that suppose this is x3, x4. So there are four answers, x1, x2, x3, x4. So now x1, I'm not going to teach you how to do that, you know that already. x1 is from the table, it's going to be pi divided by 4. x2 would be pi minus pi divided by 4, which is 3 pi divided by 4. x3 would be pi minus pi divided by 4, which is going to be 3 pi divided by 4. x4 would be 2 pi minus pi divided by 4. Oh, sorry. This is wrong. That x3 would be pi plus pi divided by 4. So there are four x answers. X is equal to pi divided by 4 is one answer. 3 pi divided by 4 is the second answer. 5 pi divided by 4 is the third answer. 7 pi divided by 4 is the fourth answer. Okay. So I think we discussed these questions up to the real depth. You don't get questions more than this. Now, the next variation. We'll discuss about the next variation. Okay. So let's consider this. Sine 2x is equal to half. X is from 0 to pi. Find x. Now, why this question is special? Why it is a variation? It's because you can see inside sine, that means the angle is complicated. Angle is complicated. What do you mean by complicated? It is not simply sine. If you have sin x, it's very easy, right? Because you can see just x. So in all our variations before, if you look into this carefully, see, You have x. Simple. You have x. End of the term, and end of the form. End form is simple, sin x. You use quadrant formulation to get the end form. That is a different story. But end form is very simple. It's just sin x. No complicated angle inside. See, even in this question, see, tan x. See, tan x. Simple. See, cos x. Simple. Doesn't matter what you had, it's simple. You came to simple form. Okay. So that's why it is simple here. See, sin x is simple. So if you have 2x, if you have this variation, what you can do? Okay. Some people teach you this, even in your school people. I have seen in Mosul, in other schools, how they teach this. But I will teach you a trick. You get it in one shot. Okay? No brain flash. Now understand the trick. The angle is complicated. So first of all, you identify this complicated angle. Then you have to use the trick I'm teaching you. Trick. Okay. So this is the trick. So I'm going very slowly. Understand. So now you recognize that this inside thing is complicated. 2x. Inside thing is complicated. Then you do a substitution. Do a substitution. So substitution is this. Let k is equal to 2x. Then what you have to do is rewrite it. Sin k is equal to half. Okay. What is that? What was the question? When time? Okay. Okay. After this class. Okay. So sin k is equal to half. Now I have to write the domain here, right? I have to write the domain here. Now we will observe. Observation is this. If you have x here, you have x as the domain. Makes sense, right? You have x, the domain should be given in terms of x. Now you have k here. Then your domain should be in k. Makes sense? Look at the top statement. Sin 2x is equal to half. Is equal to sin 2x is equal to half. Domain is for x from 0 to 1. Then, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Then sin k is equal to half. Why sin k? Because inside the angle, it is a little complicated. So we had to get a substitution, k. Then once you define k inside, sin k is equal to half. Makes sense. But when you define your domain, you have to have K domain, cannot have X domain. Why? Compatibility should be there. Okay. So now how to find the K value here, the upper K value. So this is what we call lower K boundary. This value is called upper K boundary. So similarly, this 0 is called lower X boundary. That's the meaning. 2 pi is called upper X boundary. Okay. So now how to find it? Anyway, how to find the domain? Okay. Any idea? Any idea, guys? Arjun, are you okay?
Yeah.
So yeah. So how to find that?
So is it just like the upper X boundary to find the upper K boundary? Isn't it just doubled?
Oh. Yeah. So how did you get it?
Because 2x is equal to k, so like the domain for k should be double of 2x.
Exactly. This is stupidly easy, right? You see what Inaya is saying? Inaya is saying this. Look at our substitution and look at our K domain. Then, if you need to find K domain, you put the lower boundary to this equation, 0. So 2 times 0, 0. So K is 0. Then if you need to find the upper boundary of K, put the upper boundary of X2 here. Then 2 pi into 2 is 4 pi. That's it. Just think. It's just okay. So sine K is equal to half. Now K is equal to K is from 0 to 4 pi. Okay, now find K from here, guys. Everyone, find K now. Now this is our usual job, right? So this is our usual job. How to find it? Sine, guys, sine. So now sine 4 pi, yeah? So half now. So half means right here. How many solutions? 1, 2, 3,
Four.
4. Now your x-axis would be k. Why? Because you have k, right? Y-axis would be sin k. Be specific. Now you get k values. K1, K2, K3, K4. Why? You have k here, right? Then what are the values? This value is easy, right? From the table straight away, pi divided by 6. This one would be pi minus pi divided by 6. Why? Because this gap, right? You know now. This gap is pi divided by 6. Now this gap also pi divided by 6. So this one would be 2 pi plus pi divided by 6. Right? What about this? 3 pi minus pi divided by 6. That's it. Right? So answers are k answers. K values are now pi divided by 6, pi minus pi divided by 6, 2 pi plus pi divided by 6, 3 pi minus pi divided by 6. You can further simplify that. Pi divided by 6, 5 pi divided by 6, 13 pi divided by 6, 17 pi divided by 6. K. Now you know k is equal to 2x. That's our substitution. Right? So now if you want to find x, what do? You divide everything by 2. So it's going to be pi divided by 12. 5 pi divided by 12. 13 pi divided by 12. 17 pi divided by 2. And that's the answer. Because the question is, look, question is asking you to find x. Look at the question. Now, you can't directly find x. Why? Because of the complexity, right? So inside is complicated. The angle is complicated. So you use the trick. That trick would be the substitution. You sub that values in. You modify your domain. So you use the usual methodology. You find k and then x. Easy. Otherwise, if you just want to do it in this way, having the original form is going to be so complicated. I mean, visualization is complicated. So it's very hard to do. Okay. Okay, dokie. Next question is for you. Everyone try to do this. Sin half x is equal to square root 3 divided by 2. Okay. Write down the question first. I will go to the other previous page. So this is what we did. So
Can you go back to the questioning again, please?
say
Can you go back to the question again, please? Thanks.
write it down, and then I will go back to the previous page so that you can sort of, mimic some of the steps.
Thanks.
Okay.
No, I haven't found it right now.
Done.
Wait, is the first one pi over 6?
So, 5 over.
Pi over 6.
No, right? Sine pi over 6 is same as half. Sine pi over 6 is half, not square root 3 divided.
Oh,
by 2.
no, I said pi over 6, not 5 pi over 6.
Yeah, pi over 6. That's what I'm saying. Pi over 6. Sine pi over 6 is half. But the question is giving you square root 3 divided by 2, which is pi over 3.
Is it 2 pi on 3 and 4 pi on 3?
No. 2 pi over
3.
2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, let me do that. Now, if I see that the angle is complicated, I will straight away go for a substitution. Now I have to write k, not x, as a domain, right? That would be, you put this 0 in here, then 0. Then you put this one over here, 2 pi. Now easy peasy. What is k1 here now?
K1's
Pi.
pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3 is the other one.
Yes, yes. So how do you write it? K, there are two answers now. Pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. Now, K is half x. To find x, you multiply everywhere by 2, right? It will be 2 pi over 3 now. 4 pi over 3 now. You can see now, before when I was explaining, I took one page to do it. Now, when you are experienced enough, so you can sort of do many, relations, many connections in your head and sort of throw your experience in. Okay. Remind me, did we discuss odd-even functions in odd-even trigonometric functions?
No.
No or yes?
No.
No. Okay. New topic, odd-even functions. Definition of odd function. If f of minus x is equal to minus of fx, exists, then f of x is not function. Example, fx is equal to x to the power 3. Then if you put minus x here, it's going to be minus x to the power 3. It is nothing but minus x3. x3 would be f of x. So it would be minus f of x now. So f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So fx is equal to x3 is a round function. F of x is equal to x. Is it odd or even? I think I discussed this before. Not in this lesson, in a different lesson. But anyhow, let f minus x. So that means it's minus x. Meaning minus fx. So f of x is equal to x is a known function. Right. Another example. F of x is equal to x to the power 5. Then f minus x. This is odd even test, right? Odd even functional test. Then x is, if you have x here, that means you should have x here, right? If you have x minus x here, so you should have minus x here. So the power is odd, so it's going to be minus x5. That is nothing but minus of fx. So fx is equal to x to the power 5. The odd function. Okay. Okay. Next one, even functions. Definition. If f of minus x is equal to fx, then fx is an even function. Example, fx is equal to x squared. So f minus x becomes minus x squared. This is x squared. This is fx. So now if you compare these two, condition satisfied. The even functional condition satisfied. So fx is equal to x squared. Then even function. Similarly, let fx is equal to x to the power 4. Do the test. Minus x to the power 4. Again x to the power 4. So that is fx. Again, when you compare these two, right? So you satisfy the condition. So fx is equal to x to the power 4. Is an even function. So there is a note now. You might have seen a pattern here. That pattern would be all the odd power functions are odd functions. Odd power functions are odd functions. That makes sense, right? So because look at this. X to the power 5, odd function. X to the power 3, odd function. X to the power 1 here, odd function. Right? So all the odd power functions are all odd power functions are odd functions. Example, fx is equal to x, x3, x5, x7, blah, 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 blah. All are odd functions. Next, all the even power functions are even functions. Example, okay. So that's the full knowledge of odd even functions. The full knowledge of odd even functions. Next, how we involve this knowledge into circular functions. That's what we need to discuss now. Or even circular functions. Or even circular functions. Odd functions. What are those functions? Sin x is odd function. tan x is odd function. Even functions. Even functions. Cos is the even function. Cos x is only the even function. What do you mean by that? That means sin minus x should be equal to minus sin x. Why? The property, the definition is f minus x is equal to minus fx, right? That's the general definition of for function. So going through that, so sin should satisfy this. Next one, tan. So tan is the same. Going back to even functions. Even function is when this is happening. Okay. So that means cosine minus x is equal to cosine. Okay. So this knowledge is badly needed. Okay. So I try to explain it to you without any hole. So you try to absorb it without any hole. And if you have any questions, absorb questions, let me know. So we'll discuss and I will clear that for you. Any questions so far? No questions, okay? Then let's do this question. Okay, take over. So you notice that x is it's pi divided by 4 minus x, okay? Notice that. Done? Done? Any questions? Done? Done? Guys, can you hear me? Hmm? Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Vimal, any questions?
I'm still doing it.
Inaya?
No, I'm good.
I mean, did you get something?
What?
Did you get something?
Oh, yeah, I got 5 pi over 12 and 13 pi over 12.
Done. Five. Jahangir? Okay, I'll show you one construction. So I need to know like what you guys are thinking. Otherwise, I'm stupidly writing what I know on the board. This is the bad part of this COVID thing. Oof. Nanomi, N, what is your status?
Like my answer?
Huh?
Do you want my answer?
So did you get something? Are you comfortable?
I got 5 pi over 12 and 13 pi.
Okay, let's see. Now, if you have this beast, sine pi divided by 4 minus, right? I'm going to write it in this way. What's wrong with that? Because use the experience. In other questions, we had tan x, right? In all the questions, we had tan, sin x, cos x, tan x, right? So here, I get minus, right? It's bothering me. Minus x, that is bothering me. Because in all my other questions, I get tan x, sin x, like that. So I took minus out from everything, right? Taking minus out. Next one. Then sin is an odd function. Sin is an odd function. This can be written as minus sin x minus pi divided by 4. Right? Why? Because sin minus alpha is minus sin alpha. So in this case, my alpha would be this bit. Right? So learn how to relate the things. This is what we're learning, right? Then that is equal to minus r. Now I gave you minus deliberately when I was constructing this question. Minus minus will cancel. Half now. Now x goes from 0 to 1. Okay. So I think so far so good. Then if you have something complicated here, then that's k. So your k would be minus pi divided by 4. So then sin k is equal to half. Now you should have k here. What you do, you put 0 here. 0 for x. So that means you get minus pi divided by 4 here. Come on. Next you do this 2 pi. So it's going to be 2 pi minus pi divided by 4. Perfect. See? End of the day, we are bringing whatever the complicated situation into the simplest known situation. Okay. Then sine graph, right? So just draw it. Draw it. Sine is like this. A little bit here. Because minus pi divided by 4, right? And then this is 2 pi. This is 2 pi minus pi divided by 4, right? So what you do, you get this and you erase the unnecessary part here. Okay, see, nice. So I'm drawing every detail. Okay, you should understand this. This is pi over here. So now you need pi divided by 2. Pi divided by 2 is here, right? Not pi divided by 2, half. So you get two values here. Those two values will be k corresponding, right? It's going to be k1 and k2. So k1 would be sine, right? Half. Pi divided by 3. Pi divided by 6. This one would be pi minus pi divided by 6, which is 5 pi divided by 6. So k values would be pi divided by 6, comma, 5 pi divided by 6. Now, k is equal to x minus pi divided by 4. So from here you get x is equal to pi divided by 6 plus pi divided by 4, comma, 5 pi divided by 6 plus pi divided by 4. X would be 10 pi divided by 24, comma, 26 pi 24. You can simplify if you want a little bit. That would be 5 pi divided by 12, 13 pi divided by 12. So do you get these questions in the test? 100% you get. Now, you might wonder, like, why we are bothering to get these answers. You might have put these things into the cache and you might have get it like in a second, right? I know you guys are smart. But VC people are smarter. They give you this question in the first paper, which is no cache. That's why, though it is painful, I'm doing it. So don't be lazy. You get this in the first paper. When we do paper questions, I'll be doing like after each and every session, I'm doing past papers, right? The related past papers. So there you will see, right? So can't escape. So just we have to live with it. Any questions here? So in this question, everything is involved. This question is a very important question. Why? Taking factorization. That means taking minus out. Then odd even concept. Then substitution concept. Right? Then you have to draw it and get the answers. Everything is involving in this question. So if you understand this question, the required level, you're done. If not, you're going to fail. Remember, it doesn't matter. Dr. Yu is teaching you. If you are not working, you are going to fail. Okay. But I'm pushing. But can't help if you are so lazy. Okay. Any other questions here, guys? So I have finished this. The required part already, right? So this is the required part, and then you will get bunch of homework. Then I have one extra lesson remaining, which is very easy. We call it general solutions for circular functions. The general solution thing is very easy. Okay? So I will teach you that fresh. And then that's the end of the lesson, right? That's it. This is it. And I covered 1, 2, 3, 4, everything, okay? No one can see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Why? Because this is math, right? It's a continuation. I don't know these people stupidly break one lesson by half and then they start the other lesson like after that. Very stupid. I mean, wasting your time, right? So now anyhow, we finish 1, 2, 3, 4. So now next time I'm giving you questions. You might get questions from 3, 4 book as well. So we have to live with that and then do those and get ready for the exam. Okay. Get ready for the exam. What I'm requesting from year 10 students, you have enough time. Okay, so you can do revision after revision, revision after revision. But unfortunately, for this group, like I have to continue for another year, right? As a revision group. You know, there are no classes like this in this Melbourne. Like they start year 11 and then year 12, they're done. Then new batch, right? Have you ever seen any revision group classes here? No. But I'm going to hold it. Once you are in year 11, your syllabus and everything is done. Those who are in year 10 right now. Then what do you do in the year? What do you do in the next year? Year 12. Right? So nothing, you stop it. If you stop it, I would say, if you stop this rhythm, that is a disaster. Okay? Take my word. If you want to test your life, you test your life. So that's why we continuously, rhythmically, we do papers every week, right? So I'm hoping to continue this as a revision group one whole year. Because I need to give you a justice and then I will monitor your things, okay? Okay guys, any questions? No questions?